Wait, why did the examiner interrupt me during the speaking test so much? Let me tell you the truth. So yes, examiners can interrupt you during your speaking test, and it might feel uncomfortable, annoying, and maybe confusing. And here's why it may not be such a bad thing. Sure, some stop you because, well, you're going off topic or that you're not answering the question directly. Or sometimes some candidates they have memorized the answer. And examiners want to challenge you, so they might want to interrupt you and then ask you the next question to test your skills, to hear your real English skills. Sometimes though, some candidates are not fluent enough. They are too slow to speak. So examiners might have to cut you off because they need to move on to the next question, and sometimes it has nothing to do with you. But sometimes examiners already know your level, whether you are a Band 5 candidate or Band 9 candidate. And at that point, if they already feel like they already know your level, they might move on even faster. You know, they're just doing their job. Personally, I have had that experience. Actually, I've had numerous exam experiences in which, for example, the exam that I had this examiner with red hair, and she never actually responded anyway, other than just like nodding her head, and she was like constantly taking notes. I was just like speaking, at full length, and I was speaking as much as I wanted. And she would just stop me at the end of part 1 or part 2, part 3, and then later apologize and say, "I'm sorry, I had to stop you because we ran out of time." And that was sweet of her, but well, I thought of it as absolutely fine. I mean, it's their job to stop me and not my job, so I'm gonna speak as long as I'm allowed to speak. And other times I had examiners that would look at me like a robot, no emotion whatsoever, and they would interrupt me a lot, to which I responded by speaking a little bit faster than I was speaking honestly at a normal pace. But it was okay because either way, I managed to get a Band 9 in my speaking. So yeah, examiners might change their attitude. They might be chill, they might be like sipping a cup of coffee or looking at their papers and ask you questions, or they might be like a robot. Some of them could be like your friend, like they seem like they care about everything you have to say. They'll be like, "Oh, right, but why do you think is that? Okay," like literally like I'm sitting right now. I had actually one lady who spoke with me like that, but I guess it was I was the last candidate on that day, and it was maybe the end of the shift, so she just wanted to cool and like chill, and she behaved that way. I even had the speaking exam with that, should I say, notorious examiner called Alex from British Council. I might tell you about that later. But anyway, so all of these experiences have taught me one thing, that in my attitude, in my approach to my speaking, I never changed my attitude. I would always focus on myself, being as fluent as possible. It's my job to show my fluency, my language skills to the examiner, and their job to assess me correctly. Their job is to just ask me questions and stop me when necessary, and evaluate me hopefully correctly, right? The rest is not up to me. And I don't really care if they're being so supportive and kind, if they're being like a robot, speaking whatever, so doesn't matter. I mean, I do my job, they do theirs, hopefully, and win-win. So at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is to focus on yourself and rely on your abilities. Do not pay attention to how friendly they are or how rude and robotic they seem or uninterested they seem. They're just doing their job, and they're human beings. They might also get tired, exhausted a little bit. So, what you can do is to put a smile, be positive, right? And bring that positive energy to the exam by thinking how exciting it is actually, not being nervous and worried that what you might do and what score you're gonna get and everything. Instead, you could get excited and be curious what questions you get, how you would answer them. Just be curious about that and enjoy the experience. You would actually do so much better. And recently I've had numerous candidates, my students, whom I told, just smile, be positive. And they actually told me how remarkably well they did. They did actually so much better than they would have if they just spoke with a, straight face or whatever, speaking like this, and hoping for the best. Oh, and by the way, everything we talked about applies to Zoom speakings as well, okay? Yeah, face-to-face speaking seems a lot more natural and easier kind of to navigate, where the examiners to stop you or allow you to continue speaking or encourage you to do so. Zoom speaking is pretty much the same. Be positive, smile, focus on communication and the fact that you are there doing a speaking, taking a speaking test. It is an amazing opportunity, and good luck. You're going to do so much better than to worry about anything else.